everyone, Daisy here again with another layout to share for you. This one is celebrating Jennifer's 1,000 subscriber on her YouTube channel, and so we're having kind of a little hop, and we each are selecting one of her layouts and scrap lifting it. So you just saw the layout that I'm going to be scrap lifting. I chose to make my own stencil, and it's this very intricate floral, and it is by Wispy Willow Designs on the Silhouette store. So I use I use a plastic poster board to cover my desk, and then when it gets too dirty I cut it up and use it as stencil material. So you just saw me kind of cleaning it up a little bit to make sure that it didn't like leak anything into my molding paste. And I'm going to be using the Vicky Bouton molding paste. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. It's like really thick and perfect for pushing through stencils. So I'm just using a old gift card here and smearing it through. And I'm trying to be careful because this is so intricate and I do want the design to still show. So I'm trying to be careful with the kind of thinner pieces that aren't really adhered down so that they don't squish around too much. And they do, and there is a leak, you know, around a lot of it, but it's still so beautiful. I am so in love with this. I'm definitely doing it again. So I'm just going to come in with my little spatula thing and scrape around the edges here and try to get some of that excess off. And this works perfectly because you can cut in really close to your like stenciled image. And there you can see like a lot of it squished underneath. So so I'm just going to clean it up and then try to dry it off a little bit here. So I do attempt to kind of, you see me thin down a few of the like thicker areas, and then I'm going to use my heat tool here to try to dry it. And it does help, but it definitely does not dry it all the way through because I did put a pretty thick layer of the paste on there. But I always start at the bottom and I kind of go in a grid pattern. So I go vertically and then horizontally and then diagonally, like both ways. And I just do that to try to keep the actual stencil area from warping funny. I know that the sides are going to bend up and that's fine, but I hate it when the like area that you stenciled kind of bubbles up in a weird way. So I want that to remain as flat as possible because I am going to back this. And Jennifer did back hers as well, it looks like, so it worked out really well. So I'm just going to cut 1/4 of an inch off each side, and then I'm going to back it on a piece of white cardstock. And the white cardstock, I do kind of a like over taping here. So I do a grid again, and then I do a couple of diagonal stripes. And then I realize I'm not going to be able to push the stencil down because it's still pretty wet, so I have to set the white cardstock off to the side while this dries. And I decided before it was completely dry that I would come in with the Diane Wakely gloss spray in white, and this spray is amazing. It's super solid and shiny, and I decided I just wanted to kind of go a little bit more with that, so I add that and set everything off to the side to dry. And then I'm going to start working on my photo cluster. So I'm using this single photo excuse me, of me and my husband and my youngest daughter from the fall, and I'm backing it on some parchment paper, and that I get from Cardstock Warehouse. It's like vellum, except for it's a little bit more it has a little bit more body to it, so it doesn't it's more of a white color. It's not so clear, but you can still see through it, and it's very nice. And then I'm using two papers. They are from Truly Grateful, and I got them in, actually most of the things I'm using I got from Paper Issues in their latest, or their second May kit. So like this little rainbow here, and then I'm going to pull in a bunch of other things as well. So I wanted to go with this really kind of, basically I got my colors from that rainbow, so the kind of mauve and coral and pink, and I'm trying to pull those other colors in as well. And I choose this puffy sticker. This is from Pink Fresh Studio, and it says Good Times, and just has a watercolor floral on it. And then I pull in these Vicki Boutin mixed media stickers, and I thought I could just use them plain, but they just look plain. So then I'm going to watercolor them using watercolor markers in primarily coral. I try to use a couple of other colors, mint julep and orange. Can't remember what the orange is called, but the orange is just way too bright, so I just pretty much use the coral on the two feathers. And then I'm going to set those off to the side to dry. And I'm trying this out on one of these hearts here to see what color combination I'm going to like. And that's when I try the orange, and I'm like, yeah, that's not at all what I am like envisioning. So I go back to the coral and try to dab it up and fix it and everything. And then I just kind of roll the paint on with my brush. Just making sure that I'm trying to add depth of color, so I'm trying to make it thicker in some areas, and here you can see I just come right in with the marker and then blend it out a little bit. Sorry, I am losing my voice. I got up early before I have to go to work. It's Sunday today, and to do this voiceover, and realized I'm out of coffee, so I haven't had my coffee yet. I still have to do my yoga before I go to work, and I'm like, oh crap, I have to do this too. So I thought I could get this done and then finish getting ready for the day. Excuse me. But yeah, so my throat is all kind of scratchy yet because I haven't talked so much. Okay, so I stuck this down, and it actually ended up being crooked, so I'm going to have to trim off one of the sides, but yeah, it's fine. So then in Jen's original layout, it looks like she has tulle behind her photo, so I am going to also use tulle, and I chose to use a kind of minty aqua color tulle. You can't really tell at all. And I layer it up in a couple of layers, but I thought it would be a very subtle addition of color, but to be honest, like I'm looking at the layout right now in the sun, and you can't even tell that it's not just white tulle. But I did put like 4 layers behind it, and I didn't cut them apart, I just folded them in half, and then I put ATG and liquid glue on both the back of my photo and on the, like, straight onto the background, so that I could weight this down and really get that to adhere well. Sometimes sticking tulle down can be a little tricky. Excuse me. So yeah, it's all about maintaining pressure so that the glue can really make a good adherence. And here you can see like my photos start to pop up a little bit, so I do have to put more pressure on it for a little while longer. I am using the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive glue. This is my new favorite. I still love my Tombow Mono Multi, but I haven't been able to find it in a reasonable price point. And Paper Issues has this Nuvo glue, so I decided to try it, and I am in love with it. And then I just adhered down the the rainbow and that sticker, and then put the 2 feather stickers down. And then I remembered I wanted to use this trim. So this is just a lace trim that I got at Hobby Lobby, I believe, and it's very subtle. I put it underneath the tool, and it's going to be a little covered up, but you can see it in person, like popping out at you, and it's a very nice little soft addition. So I do end up covering it fairly well, which is a little disappointing, but like I said, you can still see it, and it's very nice. I love using lace, and sometimes I forget about that. So now I'm looking for some sequins, because in Jennifer's original layout she had a lot of sparkle and a lot of little thoughtful bits kind of mixed in and around her photo and in and around her mixed media like background. And so I pulled in, I think this is like Earthy Moments or something like that. I can't remember. What is it called? Earthy Treasure. It's from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I don't think it's still available, but it has these really dark wood veneer hearts in it, and so I wanted to pull that color in because it almost matches that kind of mauve or eggplant color, and so I just felt like it would pull that color around the page a little bit. I am choosing to do 3 kind of, you know, clusters, and I'm trying so hard not to cover up that background because I love it so much. I kind of wish I had chosen a smaller photo so that it would show more of it, but I love the way this turns out. There wasn't a title in Jennifer's layout, but I am adding this one that says today. This is from like an old Amy Tangerine thicker set that I still have a few left, and it's made out of like craft chipboard or whatever. And then I pulled in some of these butterflies. These are made from dictionary paper, and they're from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I think you get them in like the color kit. And so I added 3 of those around, and then I'm adding a bunch of these big, a bunch of different sequins. So there's some big clear ones, which are a little pearlescent, and they're my favorite ones like ever. And so I added those all over the place. And then I'm adding some wood grain ones. And I think those, the wood grain on their own might be available in the shop, and I'm pretty sure these are the white birch ones. They're kind of a little see-through, but they have a really nice wood grain pattern, and I love them. And then I am going to add some puffy stickers here. One says hello, and these are both from Paige Evans, and one says oh what a day, because I needed some pink in those other clusters. And then I am going to get another sequin mix called Oh Christmas Tree, and it has a bunch of different white and cream color sequins. And so I pull out some just plain white ones, and then there's some that are pearlescent white ones, and add those around. Just really kind of adding a lot of sparkle and a lot of little extra pieces. And then these wood veneer hearts, which are also from Spiegel Mom Scraps, I am pulling in some teeny tiny ones, and then some still small but not teeny tiny, like the next size up ones, and putting those around. And then that's pretty much going to be the end of my layout. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the links of all the ladies who are also playing along, and check out their videos, and definitely head on over and subscribe to Jennifer if you're not already. She makes some pretty amazing things. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye!